together. They're not necessarily batting at a rate of knots. Yes. However, that batting might get even more difficult as you go on. So you might feel later that you didn't apply sufficient pressure. Bowl more darts. Try and create a few more chances, forcing the chances by trying to ask them to head over the top. It's a good over from Petraguayo, just 3 from it, 75 for 2.
Yeah, I think I was quite surprised when Themba Bavuma won the toss and elected to field first. Talk about conditions, it's in the heart of summer here. Sunset is quite late, so I don't think the overall conditions will change a great deal heading into that evening period, because that's when you almost expect a bit of dew to come into play, the ball skidding on. I don't think we're going to get a great deal of that happening this evening. Parker, 1 for 19. The young man keeps impressing.
Rizwan 10 from 21. His partnership has gone along a little slowly. The bowling group will be happy with how they've gone to this point.
Yeah, I think having worked with Pakistan, I understand the mindset of these two players in particular. They won't be too upset or too worried about that run rate at the moment, because they know both of them, they can catch up. For them, it's about settling and anchoring this partnership, because you feel that this is the big one for Pakistan. They'd also be aware that the surface out here, perhaps not the usual surface that we come to expect when you come to Newland. So when you talk average scores, around 259, you can set your sights perhaps just a little bit lower than that. I'm going to try and get to the 250 mark. And once you formulated a good partnership, you can always catch up towards the back end. But these middle overs, they are important. You don't want to give away soft wickets. Oh, excellent fielding. Oh, he's just missed it, Aiden Markram. Move sharply to his right. Oh, it's all happening for Mohammad Rizwan today.
Heart and mouth as he went off, wasn't sure. Oh, gets it in the hand there. Then he's got both ends to go at, hence the dive, because he recognizes that he might be short of his ground. Doesn't pick it up, Markram. And he looked away too, because he thought, oh dear, I'm going to get another hit in the head.
Yeah, having been there, you're almost waiting for it to happen as well. Yeah, but just back to two senior batters. They'll be keeping the eye fixed on that Champions Trophy coming up. So it's all about confidence in these bilateral series. It's all about building momentum.
Muito Alice.
77 for 2. Talking about a Champions Trophy, you want to make sure that you're heading into those kind of competitions, having settled batting orders. Your bowlers know exactly what they're going to do. Those guys are enjoying the sun.
Don't be jealous of it. Shot. Saw him coming, decided to react, Petraguayo, but the reaction unable to stop Rizwan. He's belted that away for 4.
Yeah, Petluquai has seemed charging early, but how is that for a shot? For those of you that watch Wimbledon, that would be 40 love. Gee, as he got on top of that, bat speed. In the process, meant to keep it down as well. An excellent cricket shot. And again, just go back to the nature of the surface. That's almost a stopped in the surface. Excellent adjustment from Mohammad Rizwan. Yeah, I think this is back to what ploys to utilize on the surface like this, and especially with the pace that Andile Petluquai is operating at. You want to try and force these batters to be driving a great deal of deliveries, because you feel that that's where you perhaps can drive them into a lull sense of security. Get him to drive one in the up, maybe in the air, so your cover can come a touch straighter, your mid wicket can come a touch straighter, and force him to look square. But also it's important for Andile Petluquai to understand that he can utilize the crease as well. Not having one static release point for the batter to line you up. So it's all about playing around with his angles. I think there's natural variation in the surface, so you want to best utilize it by having some sort of consistency of a line that you're operating at. Top of off. That saying never gets old, eh, Pom?
Oh, hurry, hurry. Okay, in the end, because Jansen didn't hit. Well, it's a tight one, that, from Rizwan.
Yeah, he's hit it quite firm to mid-on, and as he hit it, you'd have realized that he had to get his skates on, because he hit it too firm. But he's quick, he's lightning between the wickets.
Yeah, also, just as the partnership is bedding in, there might just be a difficulty in the rotation. So having hit the ball for 4 first one, decided he was attacking Petluquai, got him away, and then the rest are just little dots, and the field is in on the offside, unable to work it onside. I think so, I've got to make something happen here. I'll take a single. And so some sort of pressure being created.
Yeah, and this is back to my point on this particular surface. If you can suffocate a batsman, all batters, you feel the heat eventually. Even though you get a boundary first ball, those dots, they just keep pounding the pressure. 83 for 2 after 18. Yeah, also known as Scholesy. Carl. Looks like he's got a bit of a ginger party going there, Pom.
It looked like he said, "Oh my word, don't we look good?" It'd be something he'd say. Yeah, colourful crowd.
Thank you, fella.
Happy crowd, having a lovely time. It is holiday season, and everywhere we look, over, gone for just the 22. Expectation is that they would be able to manipulate the ball with him in operation, but he's not one they've seen a great deal of, Bjorn Fortain, and he doesn't necessarily turn it. Generally will stay stump to stump. And ask the batters to play straight, and in their quest to find the gaps, then try and work the ball a little bit squarer, and his field is set very square, and very straight, excuse me, for exactly that.
Yeah, I think this is on that point. You also need to assess conditions and what conditions are crying out for. I'd almost say you need to just slow it down a bit, because as batter you're craving for a bit of pace, so him operating in the manner which he does, and That's his A game. He's always going to try and target those stumps, LBW bold. But I just think he needs to take off a pace just a little bit. Ask the batsmen to create their own pace on the ball, like that. There you see Mohammad Rizwan indicating just a bit of turn. And that's because it's a little bit slower in the air, or through the air.
As we watch in the various formats, and it can be so different bowling in a 2020 game and bowling in the middle in a one-day game where conditions allow and there's the desire from skipper and team for you to get someone out and to bowl them out. So use the conditions, spin it, flight it, all of that. 86 for 2. Hello, Melanid.
Yeah, it's such a special time to be down in the Western Cape region of South Africa. You'll have many a holiday maker flocking down here, this region at this time of the year, as we're heading into the festive season. Oh, wow, look at that. Looking like a shark gone wrong there, Pom.
Not sure if he was bobbing his head to the music or if he just wanted to get that off his head. Here's Tabrez Shamsi. And with conditions as they are, there'll be expectation that he'd create trouble, that he'd create chances, that he can prize out a batter or two or three. Needs to make it difficult for the Pakistanis and influence the game somewhat.
Yeah, Pom, just on your point a little earlier about the different formats and how bowlers go about their business, you almost feel that because of T20 cricket, spinners have gone quicker and quicker. So they've almost lost that ability to slow it up and get the ball to turn a great deal. This format still cries out for that.
Now,
like you say, you expect a Tabrez Shamsi to be a handful on this surface. Given conditions the way they are, you will turn it, but it's about consistency.
Slow over it, the South Africans. First warning. Now with two spinners in operation, they should be all right.
It's just a little bit on over it. We used to have a spinner called Keshav Maharaj. From time to time, when he sets his field, don't bank on a couple of quick overs, Pom.
Yeah. Don't worry, we watch from up here.
Yeah, he's very particular in his field placing. It's about how he sees and feel a particular field in a particular area. And if he's not quite comfortable, he'll move you comfortable. And that's actually such an important remark, and you just don't feel a particular field is in the right position. You almost don't commit to that delivery full on.
There are some who are over the top, though. We do need to complete the game today. 89 for 2. Third ODI. is a pink day.
Rally.
Breast cancer awareness.
Oh, yeah, come on, son.
Really good cause. And it is normally a well-attended and well-supported day. Pink Day. Third one-day international. And what many will hope, certainly of South Africa, and who haven't gone on a holiday to the coast, they'll hope that it is a 1-1 when the teams return to the Highveld. Pakistan, well, they won't be fussed about that. They want to make sure they close things out here today. And this is a decent start for them. We've got two well-experienced men out there in Babar Azam and Mohammed Rizwan. Here's Aiden Markram to bowl his off spin. Long on back. Mid-off is up in the circle. It's got a deep mid-wicket, deep backward square as well, so it'll be right on the stumps.
Yeah, and I think this is all about awareness right now.
Let's go.
From a Pakistan point of view, they'll be aware that South Africa perhaps want to squeeze a couple of overs from Markram, but I always feel that this is a window of opportunity, Pom, because you have the extra fielder up in the ring, and you can almost send a message across to the opposing team by taking on a bowler like Aiden Markram. And give the innings a bit of impetus, a bit of momentum. But I certainly feel that in the modern day game, this is a window of opportunity where you can look to score. Talk about looking to score, you can just get a sense that perhaps Babar Azam identifying that this is the matchup.
And the good thing here is that Markram is a batter, so he's an all-rounder. He'll be aware of where the gap is, what Babar Azam will look to do. And it's very much to try and pop it over the top, over mid-off, should the opportunity arise. So a couple of balls ago, he runs down and he gets it straighter, drags it a little bit back to prevent that.
Yeah, just look at the field. I've got like a deep, fine leg. And I'm not sure that that particular field is going to be sufficient. I know he's perhaps putting that fielder there for the lap, but I think if anything, these batters will look to hard sweep him, which open up that square leg boundary region. He's going to feel that mid-wicket on the fence as well. Excellent bowling, excellent first over from Aiden Markram. 91 for 2.
up the trawls, then you bat like this, where you're desperate to get a 50 or desperate to get a milestone. I'm just guessing. I don't know whether Babar and Rizwan feel that way, but there's a lot of traffic regarding these two whenever Pakistan doesn't show up. 104 for 2.
Yeah, 3 singles and over. One of them brought up the 50 partnership. It's now 51 between the two of them, with 88 deliveries. Yeah, the only thing I would say, Ramesh, is I watched a couple of the replacements that came in the middle overs there in the T20 format. Usman Khan and Tayyab Tahir. I wasn't overly impressed by what I saw there. So if those are the replacements, then there's no reason to be trolling these two. I think these two are vastly experienced and quality players. The current score is looking like they end up with 217, which is down. And initially, I think about 5 or 6 overs ago, they were looking like they were going to post 240 at the current rate, and that's why I'm a bit surprised, because, as I say, I don't really feel that this is a massive risk to take on some of the bowlers that they're facing at the moment. Drag down and gets that one away for a single.
Ball shit. Ball liya bali kisi show.
That's nicely played. The placement is superb. Slightly overpitched from Aiden Markram. And Babar Azam does not miss out. That's a great shot.
He's a wonderful cover driver, and here's an example of how good he looks when he's on top of his form in top gear. I was hoping that he'd play one against a spin like that, and this was beautifully driven.
Brings up his 33rd one-day international 50 for Babar Azam of 73 deliveries.
Yeah, he's been an asset, a great player for Pakistan over the years. In fact, he's a world beater on the day, and Babar Azam will heave a sigh of relief. A 50. And something to show for. His record against South Africa is pretty impressive in ODIs.
That's worked nice and fine. That might be another boundary. And then Parker gives chase and does cut it off. So that's a really good over for Pakistan. More like it from them. 10 from it. 114 for 2.
Average is almost 60 against South Africa in ODIs before the start of this innings. So he's got another 50 against SA. Albeit a little slower, but he's still out there getting a partnership rolling. No skyscrapers so far in this innings, but we may say the pattern change in the last half.
Yeah, comfortably the best over of the innings so far. The others had 4 8s so far. For the Sout screen, has an issue with the advertising, being unable to turn it to a blank black. decent crowd, and you do get the feeling that later on there'll be probably a couple of people